All right, let's get right into it. Charlamagne, are we live right now? No. Shireen, are we live right now?
Are we live right now?
I want to welcome everybody to episode 1 of For Better or Best podcast. I'm just going to take a minute because it's been a long time coming.
I know.
I am your co-host, Charles Beloved Kirkendall, and this is your creator, host, the beautiful, talented, immaculate, gorgeous,
Keep going.
smart,
Yes.
robust, lovely wife of mine, Shireen, aka Queen Shireen Kirkendall. What's going on, dear?
What's going on?
Come on, y'all. You don't talk like that. What we're not gonna do is get on here and what's going on me to death. No. Be real.
I know. I'm trying to give the people what they want. So we are finally here.
Yeah.
It's been how many years coming?
I want to say about 5 was the first time we brought up doing a podcast.
Yes. And one of Charles's things was Shireen. I have a lot of projects.
Yep.
I cannot take on this project.
There we go.
This has to be your
thing.
Your thing.
Yep.
Why do you think it took me so long to do it?
That's a great question. And I mean, hey, let's be clear. Like, you got a lot going on. Mm-hmm. You're boss, you raising my 2 big head kids. Obviously, you're a career woman, relocations. You had a lot going on. I didn't know that you were passionate about doing this. But again, for me, I wanted to give you the space to like do it when you actually were ready. I would say maybe after Black Love and seeing the reactions to it, it might have given a little bit more battery in your back. You know what I mean? Because obviously you have hot takes. And it was just from the commentary and things that we have seen since that point, we go to a lot of cultural moments. And you're always stopped. I may or may not get stopped, but everyone's like, Shireen. And how you have inspired them, motivated them. And now obviously 6-7 months post having another kid, like you back outside. And I was like, now I feel like Stella's getting her crazy groove back. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to go to Trinidad Carnival. Trying to be real, Stella, relax.
Next year.
But I think that people really want to hear from you. You have a lot to say, and I think that you could really be a blessing and asset. So I wanted this to be a thing. And we are here for better or best, managing chaos with our blessings.
I know. So I think for me, I was thinking about like what took so long. I think there were roadblocks, but I also think I was probably my biggest roadblock. I think as women, we kind of sometimes hide behind, or as people, we just kind of, I show up to work, I show up for you, I show up for our kids, but something for me, I found every excuse on why it wouldn't work.
Talk about it.
Why I wasn't enough. Why would anyone want to hear from me? What makes me so special that someone will want to hear about us or what we do? So when people would say like, oh, y'all should do a podcast or y'all should start a TV show, I think it was like a little bit of fear, a little bit of insecurity, a little bit of like just not showing up for myself in the way, also standing behind you.
I'm big, but like let's not make it into
No. And I don't think that's anything against you. Yeah. I think you never put me in that position. I think I put myself in that position to say like, well, Charles has so much going on. Yeah. I just want to support him. But I went to a panel a few years ago with Kev on Stage's wife, Melissa, and she talked about like stepping into your main character energy. And I think it took me a long time. And when she talked about it, I literally was like crying.
Oh, wow.
Because it was like so impactful to me. I was like, why won't you step into your main character energy? You are main character energy. And I love that for you. I love supporting you. And you've always said like, Shireen, when you're ready, I will support you. So I thank you for that.
Yeah. I love it. Keep going. Listen, I'm B-Mike.
Yeah.
I'm B-Mike. I did want to start the podcast because last time you had the opportunity to start something, you said there was no spark when you met me. So I just wanted to make sure that there would be no other moments.
People could see the sparks flying between us right now. But yeah, no, I was like, I don't know. I don't know what was holding me back. I don't know if it was fear, but I think a lot of creators, a lot of people, you can show up for everyone else, your children, your spouse, work. But when it comes time to do something that only benefits you, I think people get scared.
Okay. Well, let's get into some of this, when we think about this title, For Better or Best, Managing Chaos with our blessings. that kind of is a part of like your vow for better or worse. Can you talk about like why this was the title and maybe what you did at our wedding and our vows?
I was going to say,
sparked
literally
that sparked
when I was talking about the title with our EP Bridget,
EPBK, shout out EPBK. We going crazy.
I said,
this is episode 1. I'm sorry.
I said the title should be For Better or Best. And I said, and when we tell Charles, he is going to bring up our wedding day. So on our wedding day, what did I say? The vow is for richer or poorer.
Yes.
Words have power.
I hear that.
I am manifesting better, best. I only want positive.
I hear you.
More blessings, more of everything.
And God will provide, but
yes.
You should have said what my daddy said for you to say.
So Charles's dad was our officiant, and he said for richer or poorer.
I went first and I said for rich or poor, for best, better or best.
And at the time of our wedding, we were poor. So he said for richer or poorer, and I said for richer or richer.
Yes, you did.
I don't want richer or poor. We've been poor. We're poor right now. I'm trying to get for richer or richer.
And you have manifested, I wouldn't use the R word, but you have definitely manifested, a continual blessing since those days of us scrapping together money to get married and buy our first condo, like robbing Peter to pay Paul without actually robbing anyone.
I don't know how we did it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So when we talked about the title, I was like, I don't want for better or worse. Like, worse is gonna come. I just feel like you're always gonna have storms in life. I don't want to speak storms into my life. I want to talk about, yes, stuff can be chaotic. We might not know how we're going to manage.
We're gonna try our best.
But we're gonna try our best.
I love that. That's what I was in. I'm definitely a barrier that you have to get past, but I love it.
People don't know this about Charles. People see Charles on Instagram and they see smiling, laughing, happy-go-lucky. Charles is he's very critical.
Okay.
He only wants the best.
Now, that is true. If
you are doing something, Charles is not going to half-ass it.
There we go. Again, you see the production value. You see the good microphone. You see the placements. Shout out to EPBK. We're in La Create space. It looks real good. Because if we did it, I wanted it to be done right.
Yes.
So that is.
And if you have ever been to one of Charles's events,
highly curated.
He curates. He brings the vibes.
Come on, talk about the business. I'm making $2.
When we are having our post-event recap, and I'm like, oh, that was good. He's like, that was not a good event. I did not enjoy myself. I'm like, but the people enjoyed themselves, and that's what it's all about. So Charles he is a bit of a micro manager.
Okay. All right. I can live with that.
I think you have a commitment to excellence. And I think that you elevate the people around you.
Yeah.
So I love that about you. I think you push me to elevate myself, whether it's work, the podcast.
Yeah.
Charles really died on this hill, y'all. He was like,
I did. I want to be clear. Okay, now I'm going to interject.
Okay, go ahead.
So 5 years ago, we were in the Bay, and this came to mind. I said that I refuse to do anything to make this come to fruition. I am somebody who is an executioner by nature. If an idea, I am looking to come up with the ways to manifest it. That is in my business. That is in, we're trying to buy another house. Like, I'm just a go-getter. And so for this, because I knew this needed to be your thing, I refuse to do anything. We could have had this podcast 5 years ago if it were end of my domain.
You know what?
Yeah.
Now was the right time.
Yeah.
I believe that.
There we go.
I don't know if
God did.
Yes. I don't know if we started it 5 years ago.
Yeah, it would have been.
If it would have been the same. So while we could have started it 5 years ago, while I could have taken the leap a while ago, I think now is the right time. And I tried to talk myself out of, well, there's so many podcasts. Why would mine be different? Why would anyone want to listen to ours? And there's so many of everything. Yeah. There's so many water brands. There's so many makeup brands.
So many R&B parties.
Yeah. So why ours?
Yeah.
Because we bring a different vibe and people still want to hear from us. So
there we go.
I said in 2023, I am going to stop hiding.
Okay.
You're
not hiding right now, Shireen. Okay.
Guys, I breastfeed. And
robust.
The milk is milking right now. So me and my friends are here. But yeah, in 2023, I don't want to hide anymore. Okay. I want to do it uncomfortable. I want to do it when I don't feel perfect. I think we wait for perfection, and we compare ourselves, and comparison is the thief of joy. So, just had a baby. I feel like I could lose more weight, but I said I'm going to show up anyway.
And you look good, girl.
I think
Can we hard
Jasmine-
stop that? Can zoom in on my face. I don't know if you see her. You look damn good, girl. 7 months.
I love you.
I love you too.
But, you know, Jasmine Sullivan said it. She was
Yeah.
like, you know, sometimes you want to hide because you don't feel your best, but do it anyway. Show up anyway. Take the picture anyway. You still want that memory. So here I am doing it anyway.
I'm still standing. That's Marvin Sapp. I was told I couldn't put music. Y'all know I'm a music person. I would have maybe played "Here I Am" by Marvin Sapp.
Oh.
But let me take it back because I do want you to talk to me back in those No Spark days. Like for people who do not know us, like where did you meet me? How did we get here? Like just walk me through that.
Yes. How did we get here? So we were talking about this yesterday. The No Spark thing, and Charles was like, you embarrassed me on television.
On national television,
There
in
was
front of
no,
millions of people.
There was no embarrassment. The truth of the matter is there was no spark because when I met Charles, he was someone else's boyfriend.
Okay.
I knew he had a girlfriend.
A little Erica Badu.
I subbed him on Twitter with this Erica Badu song. But yes, Charles had a girlfriend. We were coworkers, so it wasn't like we were at work. I wasn't walking into work like, "Where's my next man?"
But when you were walking into work in them black stretch pants,
Okay, all right.
I'm just telling you, there was a spark for me. I said, the spark is sparking in the black pants she was
So
wearing.
we worked at an investment bank.
Yeah,
Charles
very
was
corporate environment.
super corporate. Charles was in Jersey City. I was in the New York office. We weren't even really seeing each other that much outside of like that first week when we were in training.
Yeah, the whole rotation program was together.
And it was a rotational program. Our third rotation, we ended up on the same team. I ended up in Jersey City. If you are from New York, I was living in the Bronx.
It's crazy.
Deep in the Bronx. And was commuting every day to Jersey City. And when I got that rotation, I cried because I hated it. I was so mad. I was in Jersey and I called my mom and I wanted her to be ready to flip a table with me because I was so mad. And she was like, well, Shireen, you know, there might be a blessing in this. And I'm like, don't nobody want to hear me.
Charlamagne, are we live right now?
There was that blessing in the chaos.
There was a blessing for you in Jersey
I still
City.
wanted to flip the table. I was like, Ma, I don't want to hear this. Goodbye. And I hung up on her. I remember hanging up. And I knew Charles was going to be on the same team as me. So I sent him a message like, yo, I'm coming to Jersey. Like, we're going to be on the same team. Blase, blase, blah.
Yep. And then I was like poking you on Facebook.
Yes, he was poking me on Facebook back when poking wasn't
let him know. Let him know I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we ended up on the same team and we started maybe like September.
Yeah.
The team ran out of budget.
Yeah.
So we had no work to do.
Nothing at all.
We showed up to work 5 days a week.
40 hours.
40
not
hours.
a minute longer.
There
no OT.
was zero work, guys. Zero work.
So what did we do?
We talked. We watched shows.
Went to the mall.
We went to the mall. We went to lunch.
Yeah.
We were in Jersey City on the waterfront. We went to walks.
Yeah, just had to make it through.
And honestly, we spent so much time being friends and talking to one another and getting to know like
ins and outs, ups, downs, good, bad, people we were dating.
I was dating. He was in a committed relationship.
Yeah.
I was like out here. Charles called me a serial dater.
Serial dater.
Listen, girl, you ain't gonna meet your man going home and going to work every day.
Come on, somebody.
So, go on the date. Even if you like, I don't really like him. Go on.
She was getting free meals.
Date.
She was the free meal queen.
It was not even about free meals. My thing is, I think people make such a quick like, oh, I don't really like him. But there's so much depth to people. And I learned that early. I was like, so what if I don't like him initially? So what if I'm not attracted to him initially? I've met people who I was attracted to. And then after getting to know them, I'm like, your spirit's not clean. You're not for me.
But for me, it was attraction and clean spirit.
It was you were an attractive human.
And then
Listen, I don't want no bad karma. I don't want no bad energy. I'm not lusting after nobody else, man. So he was my friend. Period.
Understood.
He was an attractive human. I have eyes, yes, but I was not sitting here like, let me make him fall in love with me. Like, we were friends.
Yeah.
I was literally going on dates coming to
Absolutely.
work.
It was breaking my heart, fellas. It was, stop breaking my heart.
I was like, listen, I'm out of here at 4:55 because I got a date.
She would take 10 minutes before every date, go to the bathroom, do the Shireen. Like, eyelashes. She wear glasses all day, every day. I love the plain Jane Shireen glasses. Look, that's what I see 98% of my life. 2% she does this, and she did it for every single date.
So
by the time I was able to convince her to go on a date with me, because it took some time, for my date, she did not leave 10 minutes before.
Yo,
and go to the bathroom.
I was really
put on
an
eyelash.
Put
on a lip liner. Put on gloss.
I was really fucked up for
was
that.
like, all right, let's go. I said, wait, what? Is this how you pulling up to our first date?
Yo, I was really fucked up for that. I'm sorry about
I appreciate that. No. Ownership. I'm still.
You're still a little hurt about it. I'm sorry for that. But I will say, girls, we sat in cubicles. He said, buy the tickets to the movie, yo.
Okay, I did make a little more informal.
So he handed me his credit card and made me buy the movie tickets. So again, but I think that was an ode to our friendship. We were so comfortable with each other. I'm like, I don't got to put on airs. You see me dressed. You see me not dressed. You see me in my black work pants, just trying to make it through the day.
and I mean, that's just translated to our marriage. Like, you my homie. You know what I mean? And I call you bro, and I got killed on the internet for calling you bro.
I mean, we bro each other. I bro our kids, so
like, relax, bro. But like, you definitely are my homie, my best friend. And yeah, keep walking them through. Like, so what else happened after we got together? We were poor.
Yeah, so his girlfriend at the time broke up with him, and he came to work the next day and said, me, let's go on a date. I was like, I'm definitely not going on a date with you. I'm not being the rebound. But
we got through all of that. Keep going. I just want to talk about like when we got into like getting married. We dated. We were long distance.
We were long distance for 3 years. So I actually said yes to the date because I knew I was getting ready to leave New York. I was going to graduate school. I was like, yo, if this goes to shit, I don't never got to see this guy ever again.
Yo, you crazy.
Listen, I had an out. I was like, I'm not about to be showing up to work and it'd be super awkward. But we got together. We were long distance. So imagine trying to get to know someone, date someone. Literally, we got together and I had moved. Like we had one summer together, 2 months. And it was hard in the beginning. We cried, we argued. Yeah. It was very ugly.
Long distance is not easy. And we could talk about that another episode. Yeah. But yeah, we had to overcome a lot to make our relationship work. But I think we both wanted to make it work. We both, I guess, in those moments, there was a lot that was happening, a lot of chaos. And talk about me losing my job, talking about you moving to Atlanta. We'll do all that at a later date. But managing through that chaos is really what got us here.
Yeah, and I think there was so many blessings along the way. Your mom getting a job for Delta and you being able to fly for free. Yeah. So I think there were so many blessings that got us to this point. But I think we wanted to be in it. We chose each other every day. Yeah. And I think honestly, that's what marriage is about and partnership is about. I don't like you every day, but I love you every day, and I choose you every single day.
And in my choosing of you, I chose to do something.
I was going to say, and choosing one another, we did something this week.
I chose.
Thell me about your week, Charles. What did you do?
And so the title of this episode is...
Snip, snip, hooray!
If they're coming over, sister, hooray! So,
hooray.
I got a vasectomy this week.
Thank you.
Everybody want to know what happened. So I'm going to walk everybody through what happened here. But before I get into the actual tactical pieces, the reason and rationale why, you know what I mean, I did it and you got me a cake that said, congrats, snip, snip, hooray. This was not an easy decision to come to. And in the black community, this is something that is a little bit more taboo.
Yeah, no, black men do not
want to talk about. What do they say?
About
What's the metric? Like 80%?
80% of black men are less likely.
Less likely. I don't want to go by 92% because I was one of them. I had no intention on doing this to the point where maybe a few days out, my mom was like, you ain't making my son do that. I was like, Shot-town. We've gotten past this already. But what really made me get comfortable with the idea was being through and seeing you go through 2 pregnancies and having 2, what are those things called? It's been a long time. C-sections and the recovery from them. And like, damn, you did a lot, bro. And this is the one thing that you asked me to do is to not have to tie your tubes. That has its own implications and just do this for the fam. And I was like, Charlamagne, are we live?
And From what I understood, it was a procedure it was outpatient procedure. So super easy.
Yeah.
You go in, you're home within an hour, you're walking around. Charles was fine after.
No, I mean, fine is a push. So we'll talk about how fine I was. But, in my research, the doctor gave me extreme comfort. Shout out Dr. Gary Bellman. I put a review on Yelp. So if you see Charles Kirkendall smiling on Yelp, that was me. That was my surgeon. So come to LA and do it. That's my.
Come to LA and do it. There are doctors all
But
over
I
the
talked
country.
to a couple homies prior to, and I was like, bro, like, give me the real. Like, this is crazy. Like, this changes things. And they were like, it was easy.
It doesn't change
quick.
anything.
No changes in sensation, no anything. It's just instead of things going one way, they go another. And so with that, I was like, and multiple people said it, like they were right out of the hospital. They felt fine afterwards. Things still felt fine afterwards. And I said, all right, if this is the one ask of Queen Shireen, we're going to snip, hooray. So in preparation, I did a very long prayer. I took some time with the Lord. Gearing up for it.
Not the prayer face.
No, I was about to say, I went back into it because all my Instagram comments when I posted it, there were hundreds of people interested. And I was like, I didn't know people cared about my loins that much.
I was actually very surprised that you shared it publicly because you're so private about some stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, you were like, I'm going to post it. And I'm like, you're going to share that you got a vasectomy? Okay.
I mean, I didn't think it was that taboo or, you know what I mean? Until I posted and saw so many people, some people said, I thought y'all wanted a third. So many people were like, oh my God, how was it? I'm thinking about it. My appointment's next week. And it was like, oh, this is like something that should be discussed. So I let them know For Better Best podcast was coming very soon and please wait. So I said I was going to use this opportunity to like kind of talk through it. So there were two ways we could do it. Outpatient surgery, which is where they use local anesthesia. You could be in a regular doctor's office. I want to know parts of that. I didn't want to know about being awake.
Me under.
I said my insurance is good. Shout out my employer. I said give me the full Monty. I want to pull up and chill. So they were like, similar. You had to get blood work done going into it. And then you come in. And
I wasn't there. I dropped him off because of COVID procedures. So I know nothing about
They let me know like how to what it was going to, nothing to eat for 8 hours before. I go in, I'm sitting there, they're like, get naked. And I was just like, whoa, which side is the back? Which side is the back? It's just like opposite. And I sat on the bed and then the anesthesiologist came in, just explaining to me like, hey, you look a little anxious, rightfully so. I'll give you something to kind of take the edge off. This is going to be very quick procedure time, maybe 15, 20 minutes. We'll make sure your wife knows when she are able to pick you up. I say, cool. They give me a little IV. And he was like, this is going to take the edge off. And I was sitting and I was just like in my head thinking, the edge came. I fell asleep in that very moment. And then about 30 minutes later, I was back. And I said, oh, he tried to play me. I didn't know that he was about to give me the Michael Johnson. Let me chill.
Don't go there. Please don't get canceled.
I didn't know he was going to give me the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? But at that point, I was done. I was out. And then when I woke back up, in terms of like any sensations or weirdness that I felt, it was just like, I felt fine. I was not in pain, and I did have painkillers that I took for the first day. But you kind of feel like something had happened in that area.
Inside of your balls.
No, not necessarily that area. Just like...
Because I felt like you were touching your skin, and you were like, the actual skin doesn't hurt.
Yeah, no, it was like a weird sensation. I want to be able to illustrate it as clear as possible. But what I was going to say is that it just felt like something had happened down there. You just don't know exactly what. And because I was able to like feel the stitches that were going to exhaust, I was like, oh, there's a stitch down there. So it might have only been the stitch that I was feeling.
Stitch literally was like a pinpoint. It was such a small.
Infinitesimal. Just like that small.
Literally think taking a pen and marking a dot. It was so small.
Yeah.
So cleanly done. Like, honestly, I'm sure once he heals up and the stitch dissolves, you won't even be able to see that there's a scar there.
Yeah, so, one day of painkillers. By the evening, I was still out at the premiere.
We went to a premiere. That is how
that lets you know how easy it was.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the post would be on tubes tied.
Yeah. So I have never had my tubes tied. I know a little bit about the procedure, but I do think you have to go under. It's actually surgery. So for me, I was like, I've done a lot for this family. I've sacrificed my body twice for this family. I'm asking you to do this for me.
Yeah.
I don't want any more children. I don't want to be on birth control anymore. I just want to be free of any medication. And I was like, I'm asking you to do this. So I want to say thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate that.
Because so many women were in my DM saying, I'm trying to convince my husband. And I don't feel like I had to convince you that much.
Yeah.
Like, I was dropping my breadcrumbs. I was letting it be very clear.
I was scared out of my mind, though. And it wasn't until, like, I would say any fellas out there that's like thinking about it, go talk to the doctor and talk to the people who've done it before, because that was what gave me the comfort. I don't know that without those subsequent conversations with your convincing, I want to say that your convincing was enough. But after hearing it, I was like, this ain't crazy.
Well, and that's what I told
took
you.
other steps too, because while you're done with kids, I am not done with children.
I said, wow. We'll talk about this at a later date. I had to pray for our second child. Charles was
one and done. I had
a second child. And now he wants a third. And now I'm like, you need to start praying for me, because I'm anti.
To have a baby girl. And so our
sons are perfect.
Yeah, our sons are perfect, but I have 7 children left. I want to be very clear. I have 7 for whatever purposes. Shout out my good insurance. I have some amazing insurance.
So before the
vasectomy, I went and I saved some kids.
Yes.
Just in case. Just in case you change your mind.
I won't.
Or maybe we'll go another route. You know, I think that things that our parents then weren't comfortable with, I thought it was like taboo, surrogacy, things of that nature. It's just not that anymore. And I get it. You snapping back. You don't want to go through that, put your body through that. We'll have that conversation about adding to our family. And we have 7 or adoption, which is something that you have been passionate about.
I am very passionate about adoption. So that's what I said. I said, if you get the itch for a girl, let's adopt.
It's itching. About 2 more years, though.
Thank you. But I said, let's adopt a beautiful little girl and give her a family. So I'm open to adoption. I think we're keeping all of our options.
All of our options open while the bank of beloved is closed.
Yes. And the womb of Shireen is closed. So yeah, I think for me, I was just like, I think women carry a lot of the burden of children. And I think you acknowledge that. You watched me. The second cesarean was definitely rougher than my first one. And I think you saw me struggle with recovery, get an infection, go back to the hospital post-baby. I have fibroids. So I had a lot of barriers and a lot of issues. And I think you saw that and was like, this is going to be 5 minutes of my life, 5 minutes of my time. It's reversible. If we ever did decide.
Yeah, I'm just not going to let people just consistently be in that area. This is not something I'm going there to plan it. But I also know that, you know, having been married for this amount of time, like there were other options. You know, you can wear protection and things. I think that's what kids do these days.
But you're not into that.
You know, I don't know that my game is as strong as others to have been able to prevent other things from happening. So
this was the route.
This was the route. This was the only route in my opinion.
To have safe sex. It was the only route.
It was the safest way. Shooter shoot Steph Curry. Everybody loved my analogy of going from Steph Curry to Ben Simmons. I didn't know that was going to be such a big hit, but Ben Simmons refuses to shoot the ball, and I cannot shoot anymore. So
well, you want to shoot, but we're opting not to shoot. But no, I thank you for doing that, for sacrificing your body for our family.
It's beautiful vessel. Let me chill. No, this was great, man. So that's Snip, Snip, Hooray.
Snip, Snip, Hooray.
This is episode 1.
Episode 1, we did it. High five.
For better or best.
We out.